Okay, it's 6 o'clock. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining in today. This is EDT 8130. This is the second web conference, the synchronous one. As you know, we did the asynchronous one last week. And today we're going to talk about, I'm going to review the community inquiry again for the person from the outside. And then we're going to talk about the social, cognitive, and teaching presences, which make up the community inquiry. And then a little bit about developing courses that incorporate the presences. My name is Brett. And if you haven't done so already, please complete the audio setup wizard in the top option ribbon under tools, and then just follow directions when you see select audio setup wizard, and then follow directions from there. So when I first took this started this program, I never could figure out, I mean, it took a little bit, how to lower my electronic hand. So for anyone that's from the outside watching, you just simply take your mouse and you hover it over the hand and you click it and it lowers your hand. So before we begin, please everyone remove all distractions. Put your phone on mute or turn it off. Close the door of the room you're in and politely ask not to be disturbed. So let's take a moment to relax, get a good stretch, take a deep breath, clear your mind, and prepare to learn. So I want to do a quality check before we begin, and that's just to make sure that I've got the system set up properly. So this is interactive. I need you to give me a green check if you can see the red record button in the upper right-hand corner and a red X if it's not. Okay, very good. And give me a green check if you can see the words quality check on this slide, at the top of the screen. Red X if not. Excellent. Now give me a green check if you hear my voice adequately, and a red X if you cannot. All right, very good. So today, here's what we're going to talk about. These are the learning objectives. You'll be able to, after viewing this very brief presentation, is to explain the premise of the community of inquiry, name the 3 interdependent presences of the community of inquiry framework, describe ways designers can incorporate the presences when creating online courses, and then apply the community of inquiry and the 3 presences to your field of discipline. So now what I'd like you to do is share an experience with the group. So, and this is in 3 words or less. Try to get 3 words. Think of a time when you tried to learn something on your own or tried to self-teach yourself. In 3 words, press the talk button and describe your experience.
I would describe mine as learned and then forgot.
What was that?
Right now I'm working on accounting, but I've tried a few different classes, and when you do them, I know it and I'm ready to take the tests, but 6 months later, not so much.
Okay, very good. Who's next?
I would say I messed up.
Why did you mess up?
I just got a new pressure cooker, and I've been trying to learn how to use it, and I didn't follow the instructions correctly, and I put too much water in it, and it messed up.
Did it blow up, though?
It did not blow up, thankfully.
Okay, very good. Cheryl?
That's a tough one. I'm going to say probably read it or read, practice, review.
Okay. Tell me about that.
It's just in general when I'm learning something new. I have to read it, and then I have to kind of go back and figure out what it said, even though I've read it. And then I go back once I've figured it out and review it and make sure I know what it means.
Okay. I'd have to say mine was ain't no way, because one time I thought I was going to teach myself how to play the piano, so I actually got a Piano for Dummies book. And I think it's helpful if you know how to read music before you try to do something like that. So yeah, that wasn't very successful at all. But not having anyone to interact with, it obviously presents challenges, and you can teach yourself things on your own. I actually taught myself how to type in junior high on my own. It wasn't very good, but at least learned the home keys and stuff like that. But as we know, interactive experiences is oftentimes better. So I want to review real quick, and what we talked about last week was what is a community of inquiry, and this is for the benefit of our outside person, Angela. And a community of inquiry is the leading theory today that involves a community of learners who use a collaborative approach to learning, meaning-making, and application of learned concepts. In a community of inquiry, the participants in the community, they assume the role of both teacher and learner to engage in discourse, validate understanding, and they facilitate inquiry through a shared educational experience. The community of inquiry involves a process for delivering meaningful learning experiences through the 3 interdependent elements. So it's composed of 3 elements, and those are known as presences. And they are social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence. And it's the combination of these presences working together that create a sense of identity through communication and evenly distributed and teaching responsibilities shared within the group. So everyone works together. You have a facilitator, but everyone works together to teach each other, and the facilitator guides the discussion. So in other words, the educational experience is a shared experience, unlike traditional education experiences where the instructor just transmits the information and the student acts as a receiver only. This framework and the 3 presences are key to making e-learning a successful educational experience. So we're going to do a quick assessment, and I'm going to do a poll for this one. So let me change the poll here. Okay. So for a community of inquiry is a community of learners who use a collaborative approach to now select from the following options, A, B, C, or D. Well, there you go. Everyone got it right. You guys are smart. All right. Clear that out. So the next thing, or the next big idea 2, is a social presence. We're going to talk about social presence first, okay? So this is the first interdependent element, and a social presence in e-learning enables learners to participate and identify with a group. So it's a social aspect of it. Allows you to identify and communicate with an environment of what it does is it builds trust, and it fosters somewhat of a personal, you foster somewhat of personal learning relationships with others. And this social presence is necessary within COI to provide a feeling of community along with a group of learners who, as we all know, we have the same common goal. So here's our next assessment. Social presence in the community of inquiry facilitates participation, group identity, and an environment of trust. Answer true or false in the text chat. Okay, good, Leanne.
I don't see a true or false.
Just answer true or false in the text chat.
Do we have those options?
In the text chat, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
no worries.
Got it.
Okay. I'm going to start moving here because I've already been talking about 10 minutes, and I don't want to degrade the lesson here, but I want to stay within the time. So the second element is cognitive presence. Cognitive presence is the learner's ability to construct meaning and engage in discourse and critical thinking. So this is the thinking part of it. And this operates on the practical inquiry model, consisting of 4 phases: a triggering event, exploration, integration of content into the real world or a real world application, and resolution or summary phase. And if you'll notice, and those in the program know this, and Angela, if you'll notice, there's black and white slides that we're actually using the practical inquiry model for designing these lessons. Okay, so another assessment, type an answer in the text chat to the following question. Cognitive presence operates on the what model? Good. Very good, thank you. Big idea 4. And this is the last one, it's teaching presence. And teaching presence is the direction, facilitation, and design of social and cognitive processes facilitating meaningful learning outcomes. Teaching presence is shared with the group and community of inquiry as everyone in the community, including the former instructor, shares in the teaching experience. This is not the same as teacher presence, where one person provides the instruction and the learner simply receives little or no interaction. Okay, now reflect on a time when you participated in a group teaching experience. So when you as a group, whether it was in college or high school, kind of taught each other as a group. Was it a meaningful experience? Give me a green check if it was yes, or a red X if it really wasn't. Okay, thank you. Now this is a busy slide, but I want to just touch on it real quick. So how can we apply the 3 presences in course design? And this is the next big idea. And so for social presence, designers can do things like encourage learners to incorporate their experiences, examples, and ideas. And they can incorporate text and video. We're doing text and audio. For cognitive presence, you can challenge the learners. You can incorporate open-ended discussion questions, have learners reflect on learned concepts, and then encourage critical thinking by having those in the course challenge assumptions. And then to integrate teaching presence, you facilitate discourse, identify areas of agreement and disagreements, present content and questions, and then keep the discussion and the class focused, and then set curriculum and establish time parameters. So next assessment, select an emoticon that best illustrates your understanding of how designers develop courses that include each of the presences. Great, okay. So how can we integrate this into the workplace? Now I work for the Air Force. I work at Wright Pat, and Angela does as well. So this won't really have a whole lot of meaning to Leanne and Cheryl. But we give a lot of our training through what's called Advanced Distributed Learning Service, and ADLS is basically asynchronous courses. You go in and you review the content and you take a test. And I don't know, Angela, if you're like me, but I typically go in and I just challenge the test without even reading it because a lot of these are annual requirements. Or biannual requirements. So I was curious, and I went to ADLS to see if they had anything like a community of inquiry or they were doing anything that would incorporate the 3 presences. And I actually found this link on the side here called Teaming Center, so I thought that was interesting, so I started nosing around here. And in fact, they do have a Teaming Center. And if you look to the top right, they have team rooms, and even the welcome message kind of sounds like a community of inquiry, or that they somehow incorporate the presences. But if you dig in and you click on team rooms, there's about 100 team rooms set up, and they're through the Air Force and the Air National Guard. What I found was that they're not interactive at all. Okay, and this was actually after the Air Force Institute of Technology, which is a graduate school at Wright-Patterson. So I would think that they would have some sort of an interactive type site. But really all this is just a bunch of links and link content. So real quick, in the text box, grab a text box on the left there, and then maybe just briefly say, could adding presences with an ADLS or any kind of static, asynchronous learning, could it enhance the learning? simple yes or no would work, or a short response. You know, I can honestly say I don't retain or learn anything from them. Usually I just go in and strictly challenge the test, but I think interaction would definitely make them more worthwhile. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to sum it up. Today, I re-reviewed the community of inquiry, whatever we talked about last week or what I talked about in the asynchronous course, and introduced the 3 interdependent presences, and then explored application in course design and how to use it in ADLS. One quick last quiz, and answer in the text chat, if you would please, the answer to these questions. So let's go, for example, go 1A, 2B, etc. All right, Leanne, you got it? Okay, you all did great. All right, thank you for your time. Please join me again not next Saturday, 2 weeks from now, when I'll be talking about implementing the Community of Inquiry framework in blended learning and online classes. And that's it. I appreciate everyone joining, and have a great evening. That's all I got. Thank you.